MySolarBackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to MySolarBackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Nemo's got a story up on Infowars.com and GCNlive.com. Iran attack moves forward. Iran permitted the U.S. and Israel to score a propaganda victory Monday when it refused to allow two International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors entry into the country for an inspection of its nuclear program. And it's now being used by the former head of Mossad to call for a preemptive strike with nukes on Iran. That's what the rest of the Israeli government's calling for. And a U.S./Israeli fleet is now off the coast of Iran. And Israeli papers are saying that they're preparing to start boarding Iranian ships and stopping goods going into the country, which is an act of war. So this could flare up today, a week from now, or a year from now. But it's definitely on the front burner. And this is so serious. But going back to Alan Watt, we'll talk more about that throughout the hour. Researcher, author Alan Watt. Alan, I was asking you the question of why are they so out in the open now? I mean, they've really shifted from admitting things more and more a few years ago, but spinning it to just, yeah, the CIA fakes fake bin Laden videos in the Washington Post. Yeah, the government's growing the opium and shipping it in. What's the big deal? I mean, what is that tactic, Alan Watt?
Part of it is a tactic of the creation of apathy within the general populace. When you're changing or shifting gears from one system to another, and you're destroying all the old, and you're increasing prices, you've got massive unemployment rates, all of that kind of stuff, you give them a kind of schizoid society, again, through all media, where on the one hand you turn on the television and things seem quite normal, there's your favorite old shows and everything's okay, and then you hear your schizophrenic news mixed with Hollywood and so on, so all the horror that you're seeing as the drones hit the wrong villages in Pakistan, kill people, is mixed up with the latest boob job in some Hollywood bimbo. Everything becomes surrealistic, and at the same time they hammer you with a new system, the ideas that subconsciously penetrate you, that you're going into or you are into a new system and there's nothing you can do about it. It's a creation of apathy mixed up with surrealism. It's a scientific technique, actually, intense, very advanced psychological warfare on a grand scale, and it's done through repetition. We've been going through it for quite a few years now.
It's learned helplessness. It's confusing people. Never in an old tribal situation 5,000 years ago would you see happy bimbos cut into children dying, and so it's not normal. And so they're literally searing our neurons and programming us where we're a bunch of gibbering idiots and just can't even respond to real human activity as they reduce the language down where it's impossible now. I mean, I see people at grocery stores and the mall and the street, even well-to-do people who literally cannot hold a conversation. I mean, they have been turned into suboid slaves.
They have. It's linguistic minimalism, so you cannot express ideas of even frustration, never mind let's get ready for revolution. And Orwell went through that whole technique very, very well indeed. You cannot express a thought to another person or a coherent idea or a plan, and therefore nothing can come against those who are ruling you. It's very advanced psychological warfare, but Bertrand Russell and others said we have to create apathy amongst the public during this phase. That's what you've got to an extent as a form of apathy. It makes people feel powerless. What can you do is the only thing that they can possibly say. What can you do? Oh, well. And everyone, again, is tied into a system as we're trained to, like little animals, to work for this thing called money that keeps becoming more diluted like water, and everybody's afraid to lose the little bit that they have already, even though those who are at the top are bringing you into a system where you will be given ration cards and you will be given so many credits for being a good boy or a good girl, and you might buy that new iPod or whatever it happens to be.
That's right. That's the secret. They get you roped in to the casino. They get you roped into Wall Street. They get you roped into the pension, roped into Social Security, roped into the system on your smaller and smaller island, like Howard Beale says. Just leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my steel-belted radials, and I'll leave you alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I'm a human being. My life has value. I don't know what all the answers are. I just know first you've got to get mad. You've got to break your conditioning. You've got to see how they've incrementally lowered us into this morass of evil and dehumanization. You've got to break your conditioning and awaken out of it. Stay with us.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on Earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cameras, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. Hello, this is Alex Jones with some important questions. If you're going into a battle and they give you a rifle and a sidearm, how much ammunition do you want? My answer would be all I can get. In the battle for freedom and the lives of your loved ones, food is your only ammunition. How much do you want? When do you want it? Now or after the battle starts? When will you need it? Can you buy it without proper identification? Will there be any food? Will it make your children sick? If there's a quarantine and you can't feed yourself, will you go to the gathering center and be immunized? You wipe out all these problems if you have a good food supply. Food is your ammunition to fight for your freedom and your life. How much will you need? We don't know. How much do you want? All you can get. I'm Alex Jones. I want all of you good guys to live to fight another day. Call 1-800-409-5633 or check it out on the web at efoodsdirect.com. Again, that number, 1-800-409-5633. The Fall of America and the Western World is an all-new 10-hour documentary and survival guide rolled into one. In this film, you will see the reasons why our government is failing and what you can do to prepare. Featuring Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, Joseph Farah, David Icke, Naomi Wolf, G. Edward Griffin, Doug McIntyre, Mark Crispin Miller, Mickey Z, Doug Casey, David McElvaney, and myself, Alex Jones. Protect yourself and get the tools you need to protect your family from these difficult times. The Fall of America and the Western World at www.thefallofamerica.net or click on the banners at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Again, that website's www.thefallofamerica.net or call 800-655-1577. Prepare yourself and the ones you love today. Fallofamerica.net.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. Alan Watt, author, researcher, is our guest. CuttingTheMatrix.com is his website. Our websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And we were discussing before the break the mind control. The way that they have Geraldo Rivera with the Marine Corps colonel admitting that our forces helped grow the opium, and CIA aircraft are constantly caught with cocaine and heroin on board. And it's an open secret and came out congressional hearings. The government ships the drugs in. But now they just come out and admit they're growing it. And they come out and admit the CIA is putting out fake bin Laden videos. And they use the exact same replay of propaganda about Iran having nukes, just like Iraq supposedly did. And it comes out that Rahm Emanuel in mainstream, NBC was getting kickbacks with Blagojevich, and that BP was paying illegally for his apartment, and no one gets in trouble. And it's just setting the precedent that, yes,